What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're doing episode number 33 of I Build Your Teams, a series where I build my viewer squads with the best teams possible for my team showdown or whatever you might be playing. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if you'll do subscribe. Without further ado, first team today comes in from my guy Big Bird. Says he's most likely selling Gary, so pretend he has 800k. I will say, if you have sold Gary, just get Dyson Daniels. So you have a tall point guard and like a filler point guard. I think there's a really good chance we're going to get out of possession either this weekend or next week, and sometime in the next couple of weeks at a very minimum. It'll be this season for sure, but wouldn't be surprised if it's the next couple of weeks. So I think we'll probably get some good point guards then. In the meantime, I think just having somebody with some size and some defense and Dyson Daniels will get the job done as a holdover without costing you much MT. And outside of that, I would want to replace Grant Hill. Anton Jameson is much better than Grant Hill at small forward, in my opinion. He's an inch taller. His jumper's more consistent. I like his movement more. I understand Grant has great stats and badges, but I just don't like that card. My personal opinion. If you like him more, feel free to keep him, but I'd get Anton Jameson instead, especially for the cheapness of the price. Could also get Danny Granger if you want to go a little more expensive. Either way, good looking team. I think those small changes will improve it a bit. Second team comes in from my guy Lethal. He's got 1.9 mil, doesn't know where to go from here with his team. I'm looking at his team. First things first, I don't mind your point guards, but I'm concerned about the lack of size. 1.9 mil, promise you 20k for Dyson Daniels isn't going to hurt your pockets. Just add him to the lineup. Even if you don't really want to run a defensive point guard, at least have him in your last three so that you have the option in the event that you are struggling matchup wise with the lack of size of both John Wall and Reeves. Kawhi and B-Roy is great. Giannis and Duncan don't love quite as much. Wimby and Giannis and Bron I don't love quite as much. I like Giannis. I don't love the Opal LeBron at this point. Duncan and D-Rob is very solid, as is Wimby and Chet. Obviously, I don't think your bigs need any help at all, but I would probably say small forward, besides adding Dyson Daniels, is your biggest place to upgrade. Honestly, depends how much until you want to spend, because you could go get Tim Thomas. He'd be the biggest upgrade. You could start and bring it on off the bench. You could also go get Danny Granger or Terry Dishinger, or you could go cheap, go get Anton Jameson. All of those guys, in my opinion, are updates over Bron, even though he is unsellable. At this point, Bron with his normal release timing and lack of movement, to me, just is a little bit... He's not bad at all, but I would like to replace him, and I think those are some good options to potentially do that. Also could consider Michael Beasley if you want more scoring. That's another option as well. But if you are going to run Beasley, I would definitely run Dyson Daniels. Maybe you would Dyson here and then Beasley here, something along those lines. Next team today comes in from Throwaway Account. He says he's got 2.4 mil, waiting on a PD Wimby to sell, needs a center, so he's probably gonna have like 2.7 or so. Definitely a lot of MT. Either way, he does need a center. I don't know why you'd sell Wimby, honestly, unless he's not that souped, but you should get a souped PD Wimby. That's the answer. It's gonna cost you a few 100,000 MT, sure, but you're still gonna have over 2 million MT left, and that's the best option unless you want to spend a ton of MT on either like a Dark Rider Kareem or a Opal Wimby or something like that. In my opinion, I think the pink time is just fine. I think if you do that, you can run Wimby and either D-Rob or Eddie Curry, whoever you prefer as your backup center. And I think you're good. I like the duo. I don't mind your guards overall. Maybe you pick, I mean, you have a little bit of a lack of size at small forward with Kawhi and Brewer. I know Brewer's 6'9", but Kawhi, I almost would say this is non-pro pass B-Roy. Maybe you run Kawhi here, Dr. J here, and you add a small forward. With this much MT, you could go add Tim Thomas. If you had Lonzo, Kawhi, Tim Thomas, Tim Duncan, and Wimby, and off the bench you have John Wall, Dr. J, Brewer, Noah, and Eddie or D-Rob, that's a really good team. Two-way Looney's got 170,000 MT, so he doesn't want to spend it all. Definitely more of a budget squad here, which is completely fine. AC Law and Jalen Suggs definitely need some size at the point guard position. Corey Brewer and Ricky Davis, I don't mind it for a budget team. Brender and Rocco, same story. Joakim Noah and Alexis Pokuševski, and then Eddie Curry and Kalel Ware. My only concern here is that there isn't a lot of shot creation in your starting lineup. I personally would... Let's think about this. You need Dyson Daniels for sure. For the price and what he gives you, you need him on the court. But I think he has to go... There's not enough shot creation in this lineup right now. I almost think you need Beasley and Dyson Daniels. Maybe you run Suggs off the bench, and then you sell Bender, and you go Dyson Daniels here, Beasley here. And that would give you Dyson, Brewer, Beasley as a primary, Joakim and Curry, and then off the bench you have Suggs, Ricky, Rocco, Pokuševski, and Kalel. To me, that's better. I would also definitely recommend trying to grind a low 40 this season if you can. a guy like Tim Duncan would be a massive upgrade, especially if you get the Pro Pass one. Also, if you buy the Pro Pass, John Wall would be a nice upgrade, point guard upgrade. If you don't buy it, that's totally fine, but John Wall will be a big upgrade, and obviously even the non-Pro Pass Tim Duncan would be a big upgrade, but Pro Pass Duncan would be huge for this team. So if you want to do that, you could also consider that. Next one is NBA 2K Turkish. This has got 1 million MT, and I mean, look, I don't like Harden. Dr. J and Paul George's. I mean, I like Dr. J. I don't love PG at this point. KD, Braun, Beasley, Giannis, Kareem, and Wemby. Your bigs are awesome. I kind of look at this team, though. I would slide Kareem to the 4, start Wemby at your 5, pick between LeBron, KD, Beasley, and Giannis. Pick between them and sell 2 of them. I don't even care which 2 you sell. You got to sell 2 of them, though. I guess you could run Giannis at power forward, but honestly, I'd probably sell KD and then one of the other 3. Up to you who the other one's going to be, but I would sell KD and one of the other 3 personally. And then I would run something along the lines of Caruso, Dr. J, one of your small forwards, one of the 2 you keep, Kareem and Wemby. And then off the bench you have, let's say, Dyson Daniels, Ricky Davis. The other small forward you decide to keep, probably Beasley, in my opinion, off the bench. I'd go Braun starting, Beasley off the bench personally. And then backup power forward could be, you could keep Giannis there if you want. If you want to just sell KD, you could also pick up somebody cheaper like a Khalil Ware. Backup center could be Eddie Curry. And if you want to, you will also have the MT flexibility, selling 1 or 2 dark matters, including KD and potentially Giannis or something along those lines. You could also go get a dark matter big, like a D-Rob, like an Embiid, like a Chet, like somebody like that, like an Akeem for your bench if you wanted to as well. And then final team today comes in from Cancun, said he's willing to spend 500,000 MT. He's got Lonzo, B-Roy, Brewer, Noah, and Moses Malone. And then he's got Russ, Reeves, Rocco, Khalil Ware, and Eddie Curry. Here's my problem with this team. Russ, not a big fan of. I would have Reeves off the bench as your point guard. So you have Lonzo and Reeves, and then you have B-Roy, and probably what I would do, since you have Reeves off the bench, he's a bit of a shot creator. I would low-key go Lonzo, B-Roy, Reeves, Corey Brewer, and put Brewer and Joakim on your bench, personally. That's my thought. You could also keep him at small forward if you wanted to, but with Lonzo and B-Roy, I almost think you could use a shot creator at small forward, which is where I would go Anton Jameson or Michael Beasley, depending on how much you want to spend. One of those 2 guys at small forward, and then you have Lonzo, B-Roy, one of those 2 guys, and then Reeves, Brewer, Rocco. With Joakim Noah backup small power forward. Eddie Curry can stay your backup center. Moses Malone can start at power forward, and then you can buy like a Pink Diamond Wemby for your starting center. To me, that's the perfect look for this squad, and I think that's a great way to cap out the team for right now, spending less than 500,000 MT and upgrading your squad overall, which I would assume is the goal, is it not? So with that being said, that is going to do it for this video. That's the final team of the video. If you want to be involved in the future episode of I Build Your Teams, make sure y'all are on the lookout for a tweet about this series on Wednesdays or Saturdays. I upload it twice a week. Try to get to as many new people as possible, but again, I only do 6 teams per episode, so there is only so many teams I can get to, but I do the best I can to try to get to new people if I can. And I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.